Are you serious? Are you serious? Right now what you have is Damascus is in a ruinous heap. Well, not completely, of course, but it has been a long period of time. The bombing, the wars, the ISIS, the beheadings, the rapings, all of the things that's went on. And it's still going on now, as 300 civilians have died after 4 days of intense attacks. Pro-government forces of Assad have pounded the rebel-held eastern suburbs of Damascus. They're at Ghouta for the 4th day in a row. At least 38 civilians are dead, including 4 children. And according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, this is what they're saying. Since Sunday night, we have a death toll. Syrian and Russian airstrikes collectively have cost 310 civilians their lives. That includes 72 children there in the suburbs of Damascus. It looks like a ruinous heap in those areas. I was at the Golan Heights a year and a half ago with Stephen Ben-Danoon, and standing on the Golan Heights overlooking the border of Syria, we looked with his camera lens, we looked right into the streets of Damascus. We could see Damascus. We were less than 2 miles away from Damascus, and we looked into right down the streets of the city, and it was just an unbelievable ruins. The whole city's not completely destroyed. About 30% of the city of Damascus functions because it's been protected primarily by Assad, and the Iranians and even the Russians have protected it. But the misery of Damascus has just been unbelievable. There is a prophetic word in the Lord, of course. Many of you have read it or seen it, I'm sure, out of the book of Isaiah, chapter 17. And Isaiah said these words. He said, Damascus, here's the word of the burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Well, it's still there as a city, but it is becoming a ruinous heap as far as 70% of that city. And I can't figure out why the shelling, they're fighting over the final positions. The oil, of course, is a major part of Syria, and that's why there's still fighting going on there, fighting going on up in the area where the Kurds are, where there's oil wells, there's people still trying to control them. Just pray for the people of Damascus. It's very, very sad. And, Americans have been bombing there, Iranians, Russians, the Syrians, the Chinese have even been in there, the British, the French. You got Al-Qaeda has just been butchering people. ISIS was the worst of all. The Free Syrian Army, it goes on and on and on, okay? Just way too many components, too many armies, just too much war. It's just, pray for these people. Pray in Jesus' name.